Let's paint a Spirit Blossom skin. First, to understand what makes a Spirit Blossom skin, we need to dive down to its key components. Right now I'm just gathering as much reference as I can to get a grasp of the whole Spirit Blossom universe, and you can already see a pattern where there's a light and dreamy Spirit Blossom side and a dark and ambient Spirit Blossom side. But beyond those patterns, both sides share common themes and features. They both have a Japanese style theme, as you can see with the kimono, the obi belts, and the prayer beads. Now, who is my OC exactly? I pretty much painted him to be outgoing, self-critical, and stylistic, with some kind of dark punky theme added to him. His physique is pretty toned and he has a lot of piercings and stuff, so those are kind of his main traits that will be very visible within his skin. For this skin, I feel like I really need to give him that dark Spirit Blossom type of skin, because I think it's a lot fitting for him more than the light Spirit Blossom skins. So what makes a dark Spirit Blossom skin exactly? Well, the main difference is that the dark Spirit Blossom skins have extremely dark and misty environments, and they usually have a purple and blue color theme carrying the whole composition. They also have a couple of interesting features such as the glowing eyes, glowing horns, and the cool looking effects. So the priority here is to find a cool pose while also setting up the lighting for the character. But first I try to focus on the pose before I actually try to design the character and stuff like that. Now the first one is really good. You've got the glowing horns, you've got the prayer beads. I like the idea of the obi belt made of massive rope. He's got half a kimono. His design is really hectic and the lighting really makes sense here. It's not trying to overpower anything, it's just letting the character be a silhouette while also lighting up a bit of his face and stuff. This is a really good composition and this thumbnail really works. This one's cool and all and it looks like it could go really hard. Massive potential. I just didn't spend too much time on it, mainly because the pose kind of sucks. This pose here, it's a cool pose but it's really stiff. I tried but I just really couldn't make it work, and there's heaps of empty space in this composition. I don't know, I just don't like this composition at all. But this one, as soon as I started drawing the pose, that's when I really started to like it. It's kind of coming from a low angle perspective and you can see his silhouette is really popping off. His hair is showing that there's some kind of tension, some kind of wind, and his pose just looks really natural. And I really like the idea of the torii gate just wrapping around him. It's pretty much pointing towards him. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pick this thumbnail. The first one was good, but I feel like this one was just a lot better. So let's go ahead and put this on canvas. Jeez, I struggled with that. Anyways, our main focus right now is to change this from being a messy ass concept to being a little more detailed. So I'll check back with you guys in a bit. Right now I'm having a really hard time painting the face. At this point I really don't know how to fix the issue. It seems like a mix of proportion and value issues, but for now I'm just gonna ignore it and move on to something else, since I might waste too much time if I keep painting this face. Right, now I'm going to color the piece by throwing a gradient map layer over the piece. Our main goal right now is to create a purplish bluish kind of color palette. I don't exactly know how I'm going to simulate this kind of Spirit Blossom theme, but we're just going to try different colors and methods and hope we can make some kind of happy accident. I'm still having issues with the face, but I'm not afraid to go back to square one and take a different approach. The face is literally back to how it was from the thumbnail, but I'm just going to keep trying until something clicks. Okay, so the face is looking a lot better right now, but I'm just going to move on to the rest of the body for now because I've been spending way too much time on painting the face. Okay, so I just realized that in a lot of the actual Spirit Blossom splash arts, some of these characters actually produce a lot of magic, mainly from their hands. So I thought it would be a cool idea to mimic this kind of effect, so I'm gonna paint that right now. Honestly, this shoulder piece kind of didn't make sense to me. I mean, there's not a lot of cases where cloth can be shaped like that, so I'm going to draw a proper metal shoulder guard instead of whatever the hell is going on here. I finally actually got the face down. It took a lot of reiterations, but we finally got there in the end. And I also like how the rendering is looking right now. I think the material of the prayer beads or the orbs around his torso is looking pretty nice so far. We're still far from finished, but we're making steady progress. Right now though, we really need to make some progress on the background because the character is being lit by a light source we can't even see. So we need to introduce some kind of light source to the painting, or at least some kind of hint of what it could be. So I'm gonna work on that right now. So a lot of changes have been made right now. I've introduced a glowing lotus flower in the foreground to show that it's lighting the character from the bottom, and I've introduced the moon on the top right, or at least a hint of the moon to explain where this room lighting is coming from. Other than that, the painting is going a solid direction. I'm going to keep working on this and I'll check back with you guys soon. I decided to change the rendering of the arm, and I like this rendering way better than how it looked before. Before it looked less like magic and more like it was bruised or something. So yeah, I think I'm a lot happier with this outcome. I'm pretty happy with this piece overall, but honestly the result has kind of got me realizing that my piece is a couple steps away from being god tier. One of those steps being more intricate rendering, since my rendering is just made up of simple gradients, but hopefully I'll be able to improve on that within my next piece. And thanks for the 100 subs. I actually never imagined myself hitting that milestone, especially so soon, so once again, thank you. I'm glad you can take something from my content, and thanks for watching.